Hey everybody, I'm Joey, and today we're cooking hot and fast as we crush the flavor on some tasty pork chops. So follow me and let's get fired up. Today we're cooking pork chops in a cast iron skillet, which are so easy, even your drunk friend Vinny can make them. It's a simple way to make dinner in under 10 minutes from fridge to plate. Now, buying pork chops at the store can be just a little bit confusing because there's a lot of different cuts of chops which are simply referred to as a pork chop. There's some subtle differences and I won't get into all of those here. Just know that you can use any thin cut lean chop for this recipe, either boneless or bone-in. If you're using a thick cut chop or a chop that has a lot of fatty connective tissues, you're going to want to use another technique. But as I mentioned, this is a really simple recipe. We only need pork chops, seasoning, butter, and olive oil. Today we're using JoJo rub, and that's a really simple seasoning we created at home using common ingredients we had in our kitchen. We've included a link in the description below if you want to use it, or just season it with whatever you want. Today we are using center loin pork chops, which are commonly referred to as a porterhouse chop because of its resemblances to its cousin, the beef porterhouse steak. As you can see, we have this T-shaped bone that runs across the top and right here through the middle. Over here, we have the pork loin, and it's really this section right here. And it is very much like its cousin, the beef New York strip steak. Very similar. Again, it covers this portion right here. This redder portion right over here on the other side of the bone, that's called the pork tenderloin, and it is one of the most tender and desired cuts of pork, and very similar to its cousin, the beef tenderloin. This chop really offers the best of both worlds, making it a fan favorite. All right, now let's get these chops seasoned. As I said, I'm using JoJo rub, but you can use whatever you like. Go ahead and thoroughly coat both sides of these chops. And let's get that other side. Now that these chops are seasoned, it's time to heat the pan. We want to use a medium-high heat, about an 8 out of 10. As I mentioned, these are thin cut chops, no more than a ½ inch thick. We're gonna get this on to about an 8 out of 10, then we're gonna go ahead and add some butter, about a tablespoon of butter and a tablespoon of olive oil. I like to wait for about 30 to 45 seconds after it's done bubbling, just to know that it's nice and hot. All right, so now this has stopped bubbling. As you can see, some steam maybe rising at home. They're ready to go down. So we're gonna go ahead and get these all in. And because the tenderloin right here cooks at a slightly different rate than the loin, I want this tenderloin to be right in the middle over what I think is the hottest part of the pan. So go ahead, get those in there nice and snug. Now that they're in the pan, we're gonna let them cook for about 2 minutes, and we're gonna flip them over and let them cook for another 2 to 3 minutes until they reach an internal temperature of about 145 degrees. All right, so they've been on this side cooking for about 2 minutes. And let's take a look and see how they're browning up. So look at that nice color. Now we know it's time to go ahead and flip. Let's go ahead. As you'll see, they are cooking faster on the inside than they are on the outside. That's exactly what we want. All right, so these have been cooking on this side for 3 minutes, and the outside is just still needs a little bit more time. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna reverse flip these. I'm gonna put the pork loin portion towards the inside of the pan, let that get a little hot. As you can see, we got some nice color over here. We just wanna finish up cooking right there. Give them another 30 seconds, and then we're just gonna sear this fat strip on the outside. Let some of that fat render right before we pull it out. Now that these are done cooking, we're going to let them rest for about 2 or 3 minutes, and I'll be right back and we'll cut them open. All right, so these have been resting now for about 3 minutes, so let's cut them open and see how they look. First thing I'm gonna do is remove this loin side over here from the bone. Let's cut that away. So here we go, look at that. Nice and juicy. You can tell these are ready to go. Look, these pork chops are a simple way to hit your next meal with a big old punch of tasty. We're showing a really easy recipe today, but just know you can kick it up by covering them with your favorite sauce or a little red wine mushroom gravy. They'll taste absolutely perfect. Our motto at Red Meat Lover is cooking meat made easy, and that's just what we strive to show you in every single video. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, like, or even better, subscribe to our YouTube channel for future updates. Also, we would love to hear from you. Please leave your feedback in the comments below, and we do our very best to respond to as many inquiries as we possibly can. And remember, Porky Pig had a stutter, but you're gonna love these chops covered in butter. I'll see you next time. Those taste fantastic.